No one, and I mean no one, is getting everything that they want.
Despite holding a supermajority, Illinois House Democrats had a tough time getting a budget package passed. Welcome back to WGN-TV Political Report. In Springfield last week, all's well that ends well in the eyes of top Democrats, but not before a lengthy debate stretched overnight, leading to a pre-dawn vote, series ending in the $53 billion package being sent now to Governor Pritzker.
I think it should be clear to everyone in this state what this supermajority is willing to do to ram a tax increase down the throats of the citizens of Illinois at 4:30 in the morning.
What ultimately crossed that finish line is a mix of tax hikes and changes to current tax code. It includes a new cap to the discount retailers receive for collecting sales tax. The compromise, a limit to what fees financial institutions can charge those same retailers. And an increase to the tax sports betting companies' pay turned into a graduated rate, still netting about $200 million. The plan also gets rid of the statewide 1% grocery tax by 2026, but that doesn't mean your monthly bills on groceries are going down. To appease municipalities worried about losing revenue, the state is letting them levy their own grocery tax. Republicans say the final budget is a recipe for disaster come next year.
Fiscal year 26 may be a $2 billion reckoning. Start thinking about what you want to start cutting, because we will require cuts in the very near future.
Every year, particularly Republicans, say things like that. They say, oh, we're careening toward a brick wall. It hasn't happened. 6 years in a row, we have balanced this budget, and we have made sure that we're thinking about and lowering costs for working families every time we put a budget together. So, I'm pleased with how the budget ultimately came out. 6 years of balanced budgets for Illinois, that's a record.
Now, I talked with House Minority Leader, State Representative Tony McCombie, about the last days of session and what is next. So finally, we get a $53.1 billion budget done before the end of the May deadline. Although not all Democrats were on board with it, multiple rounds of voting needed. It happens at 4:43 in the morning. Can you explain what you saw transpire on the floor? What sort of important legislating happened while most of us were sleeping?
Well, the budget passing is pretty important, and it always happens at this hour of night, it seems like. But this year, as like last year, the Senate had it. So we were lucky enough to be able to at least analyze it a few days. So there's no soundbite from Republicans saying we only had an hour to review it, but the soundbite of it passed in the wee hours of the morning is still a soundbite. But it was obvious mismanagement on the House floor. There's complete chaos. Unfortunately, the speaker has no control of what's happening on the House floor, and you had them breaking their own rules, the rules they craft, and it was complete chaos. 3 times to pass it, and it just goes to show that the Democrats were not on board with this tax increase.
Well, let's talk about Republicans being on board in this respect. Several of your colleague Republicans have said they were not invited to be part of this negotiation process, but we do know that parts of the party were involved in at least budget discussions some weeks ago. Did something break down in those final days?
Well, I'm not sure what those discussions would be. In the House side, I can't speak on the Senate, but on the House side, I think I know that the Democrats always say the Appropriations Committee is our discussion, and that's just not accurate. The real discussion happens in the final couple weeks with the budgeteers, and so we were not involved in those. We had I had a high level conversation around the budget address with the governor and the four tops. We had on the Thursday before it passed, the governor and the four tops telling us what was in it or supposedly going to be in it, and but no sit down discussions by any means.
Right. Four tops. I've got all your records, by the way, just so you know. With regard to priorities, obviously the budget largely mirrors the governor's address that we heard back in February. Child tax credit for kids under 12, the SMART Start program, making full pension payments. One of your members said Wednesday morning the programs are nice, but spending is out of control. Where did the Republican priorities differ here?
Yeah, our priorities right now, and I think it should be across the board. This didn't have to happen this way. I think right now, where things are in our state and our nation, it is not the time for new projects and new programs. You know, we all want to be able to have new park structures or splash pads, or be able to give to nonprofits to help them with their capital projects. But sometimes government has to function, and we have pressures that we need to serve: education, public safety, our most vulnerable. Those are things that we have to take care of first. And when we can get our house in order, that's when we can spend on those items. So like right now, we have $625 million of new member initiative dollars. When you have to pass an $8 billion bond authority for to spend, that's a real issue, and that's going to come knocking next year. We're already in the hole about $1 billion just starting off in FY26. So this is real money, and this is going to affect real people every day.
Well, and I'm going to talk to you about that more, but here's the good news. No new tax increase put on everybody. There has to be sources of revenue. And so this plan gives us increases on corporations. Sportsbook will end up paying the price for things. You did speak on the floor about the impact of some of those changes in smaller communities versus larger cities. Can you shed some light on that?
Yeah, and there will be a tax increase. It'll just depend on how it is. It will affect everybody, whether it is on higher cost, because anytime we do something in Springfield, that cost gets passed on to us as consumers. The bill has to be paid somewhere. So when we put more burden on businesses, they unfortunately, if they want to stay in business, that burden just gets pushed on to us. So if we take something away from them to put on to them to pay for it, we end up just paying for it. So we will all see that. And there's some things in here. The gaming is the gaming, but there's different ways that they could have done that. But this is their house to run. And if they want to go ahead and do what they did to horse racing, to Arlington, eventually that's what happens. You tax something right out of the state, and eventually that will happen.
Of course, Illinoisans may be happy when they hear, wow, the 1% grocery tax gone forever. I'm guessing maybe some of them don't quite understand that money all went to local municipalities anyway. And now that maybe lead to some changes at the local level. Talk to me about your community and what the removal of the grocery tax from the state budget might mean to municipalities.
Well, yeah, that's right. It is, that is great. And we all want tax reform. And I love that the grocery tax is going away. However, the locals are going to say, oh, great, we're not going to have a grocery tax. And then they're going to get that receipt, and then they're going to see a grocery tax. And then they're going to go to their mayors and their city council, and they're going to be like, hey, why is there a grocery tax? Or they're going to call my office, and then I'm going to say, well, your city council put that back on there. And they'll be like, wait, what? So they're not gonna understand. That's a little in the weeds. So yeah, the governor has taken away that piece for the locals, but not only did he give the authority for the locals to put that 1% back on the grocery tax, but he also gives the authority for them to also raise another 1% on the general taxes. So your sales tax could go up to 2% without going referendum. I'm a big fan of local control, and we put our people in office and locally, but it really should go to the local vote.
Just a little time left, but I know there was also concerns from Republicans about all the money going towards the migrants who are here, the health care for undocumented people. Money should go for Illinoisans. But the truth is, we do have to deal with the migrants. Yeah,
we do, but we don't have to continue to have that population grow. And also we can be handling it in a different way. That's $1 billion, $1 billion for Cadillac healthcare better than you or I, without any question. Education, housing, and when we have our own people, and this is probably in more urban areas, they're being put aside. These have been issues for other folks in more urban areas, and now how do you think they feel? I can't even imagine. They've been slighted all along, and then now all of a sudden they're like, well, wait a minute, why is this group of people who aren't even taxpayers, who haven't even been residing here their whole entire lives, Why are they getting what we've been begging for years? It's not fair and it's not right. But we need to, one, have push Biden to stop this, secure the border, and also we have to push the Pritzker administration to repeal the sanctuary state. We need to, if these folks are causing issues and if they commit crimes, they need to be removed from our state.
Out of time now, but please come back soon. I want to talk to you about what tax hike we could see in the future and also the Republicans' agenda for the fall, which is the next time you all get together. But for now, House Minority Leader Tony McCombie, thank you for your reflections on what you've been through. I look forward to talking to you again about the future.
Me too. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The legislature took off for the summer without voting on several big ticket items. That includes a request from the Chicago Bears for permission to use public money to build a new lakefront stadium. The Bears and the White Sox say they'll keep pushing lawmakers to take action in the fall. Also stalled at the State House was Karina's bill, a measure aimed at keeping guns out of the hands of accused domestic abusers. Some lawmakers say they're waiting for a case before the Supreme Court to determine their next move. And while everyone had agreed changes were needed at the Prisoner Review Board, the House failed to take up a Senate-backed bill expanding transparency for victims. Coming up next, we're going to take you to City Hall. CTA faces an uncertain future with a looming fiscal cliff and tensions over who should lead the agency. We're coming right back.